This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and for the next 4 hours, I'm your host, I'm your guide, as together we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X-Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And the X-Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 8 p.m. Eastern until midnight, right here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, the Starcom Radio Network, and our growing family of broadcast affiliates right around this world of ours. Worldwide toll-free, 1-800-610-7035. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV, and our website where you can listen to the X-Zone 24/7, 365, including during the live broadcast. www.xzoneradiotv.com. X-Zone Nation, my first guest tonight is Morgana Starr. And Morgana is a psychic medium and channel communicator who co-hosts on Google's TV's Angels Unveiled. Now, she was raised in the wilds of Africa by missionary parents. This, along with looking for healing from fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, has led Morgana to spirituality and her work with angels. She is a Native American pipe carrier, Reiki master teacher, Akashic record, psychic development teacher, and past life reader. She is internationally known for her work as a medium and her work directly with Archangel Anela. Did I pronounce that right? It's Anel.
There's
Anel.
no A on the end.
Right.
Anel.
It's Anel. So joining me now is Morgana. Morgana, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me, Rob. I really appreciate it.
So tell me, you grew up in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And
I grew up on the top of a mountain. We were 300 miles from the nearest town. It was called Rhodesia at the time. That
Right.
may date me a little bit. But Zimbabwe now. And we could look over and see the Zambezi River and Zimbabwe from our backyard.
Now, did you always have these gifts that you've used over the years to help so many people, or was it something that happened that triggered all these wonderful gifts and your present-day quest?
I've had the gifts all my life. It's one of those things that you look back and go, oh, yeah, I remember that. From when I was a child, and it is generational, I was able to trace it on both sides of the family. Even my one of my great aunts, she was put away for hearing voices. So I learned early not to talk about the things that I was hearing, and then ended up just tuning everything out until I started looking for the healing from fibromyalgia. And that led me to my Reiki master, who gave me a couple of extra symbols that opened up my third eye. And one of them is called Angel Love, actually. It puts you in touch with the other side. Within just a week, I was hearing the angels. I was hearing dead people, and I knew I was going to hell because I was raised that way. And then had to just work at shifting my belief system and realizing God was so much bigger than anyone ever realizes.
How come God and those within the biblical context can speak to angels, can listen to angels, and yet no one else can?
Oh, that's just that's a religious dogma. So throughout the even the Old Testament, Deborah was a prophetess, and that's really what I am. I'm an angelic prophet and communicator. So not much different than that. It's just that dogma has tried to lock it in, to control it in religious structure.
You know, coming from missionary parents, it must have been very hard for you as a child.
It was very hard for me. My parents were wonderful. My dad had a great sense of imagination, but he was a very religious, dogmatic preacher.
Right.
So he separated that. To me, the imagination was real. So what happened with me, I internalized a lot of it, hence the fibromyalgia. I'm an empath, not just an empath of people, but I'm an empath of spirit.
Wow.
So even now when I channel someone that's passed on, especially if they're caught between worlds, it can be a tough thing to deal with those energies because I can feel their emotional pain and stress.
Morgana, what are angels? Who are angels? You must get this question asked to you all the time.
Yeah, I get questions. Somebody will say, oh, my grandma's my angel. Well, because they feel she's around.
Right.
Well, yes, grandma's around. There's no doubt of that. But she's not your angel. You've got an angel on top of it. Angels are separate beings. They're not human. Their vibration is so much higher. This is why when I was a medium and psychic for a while before I directly really, really tuned into the angels full time, and it took my gifts up to a whole nother level because the vibration is so high. So they're able to see so much more than guides can even. So they're a different being.
So where do angels originate from?
You love asking the hard questions. I love it. Many different planets.
Okay.
Many different star systems. Some of the planets no longer exist. There's people out there that are starseeds, so they understand that. But angels are even more than that because they came from another planet to help this planet evolve. And this is their baby. Earth is their baby. And they are very protective over this planet, but put a grid around the planet to protect it from other species finding them or finding us. But yeah, they're a whole different being, and some people will call them aliens.
Really?
You know, on this show we can just come out and talk about it.
Sure. But tell me, what was it the angels did that caught the ear and the favor of God to protect us on this planet?
Who's God?
Well, you know, the guy in the Bible, the father, the guy who allegedly created everything. You know, the guy who was the father of Jesus, and the guy that Jesus said, "Father, Father, Father, why are you forsaking me?" when he was being nailed to the cross. That one.
Right. That takes us down a whole different path on how the Bible was translated and who that God really is. I don't believe in the angels of the way of a lot of what they talk about in the Bible. The Bible angels that they speak of are the ones that follow that constraints of that particular religion that says, you do as I say or you go into hell.
Gotcha.
To me, that's not love. That's not unconditional love. That's control.
Well, you see, I agree with you 100% because when I look throughout the Bible and I studied the Bible, I wanted to be in the ministry when I was a kid because something didn't make sense. And I figured, all right, the answer has to be in this book. Well, that's what I was told anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, when I took a good look at the Bible, you know, and you've got Sodom and Gomorrah. He annihilated all those cities with those two cities with those people. And then the big flood, and then wiping out the entire earth, and except for Noah and his family, and other examples. And I'm saying I don't want to be a father like this. If that's how this father treats his children,
But you look at those stories, and those stories in the Bible are in every ancient religion.
Yeah.
Back to Mithras, all the way back into the first written Sumerian languages. Some of those myths.
It's almost as if the Bible was a syndicated column.
Yeah. You do know you're going to hell for that, right?
Hey, listen, that's what my minister told my mother when I was 11 years old because I asked too many questions.
2 questions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, so I'm used to that.
The God that, if you want to call God or goddess, because I believe the God that the angels work with is neither male nor female.
Amorphous.
And they, that one doesn't want us to have control or be controlled.
Right.
This is why the whole angel battle began. Because there were this source of angels, and I'll call them the evil angels, for lack of better words, that wanted to control humans by fear, by telling them what they could or couldn't do. Don't eat from that tree, or you're going to die, because then you're going to learn about knowledge of good and evil. Well, that doesn't even make sense.
Of course not.
So, then the angels that we work with are the ones that say, these humans, we have even helped them evolve in their DNA and their education, and we've come down. And some of these angels have actually taken human bodies throughout the centuries of time so that they could experience what it's like to be human, so that they could help the human race more and move them ahead in evolution. You look back into history, why did we all of a sudden why did we learn how the wheel worked? Where did we get this technology? How were the pyramids built? All of a sudden, there were embodied angels working with humans, helping them.
But let me ask you this, Morgana. Why have they stopped? There's wait a sec. There's wars going on in this world today. There are children dying because of disease and lack of food. There are homeless people. The economy is taking a crapper. We have terrorism. Why are the angels just sitting back and letting all this happen? Well, plus look what's happening to the earth.
That's a great question. And the answer is free will.
But
these angels are not going to come in and take our free will. We are choosing this.
Well,
there are angels working behind the scenes trying to wake us up.
But you can't
look
see,
at your show.
You can't see. Oh, thank you. But you can't say that there are not people on this planet today who are asking and who have been asking angels for help, for intervention. And are the angels going to sit by as we destroy ourselves because of we have the right to make up our own decisions?
Yes and no. They might if we continue and we don't listen to their guidance and their advice. And that's what I teach people, is how to learn to listen and tune into your angel. Because I'll tell you, people come in here and I said, your angel's been telling you need to walk away from this relationship. You need to walk away from this job. You need to go this direction. Well, I don't want to. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Well, then I'll see you next year with a worse problem.
So how do we get people to listen to their angels? Because I believe in angels. I am one of the biggest angel believers that you will ever come across, because I have seen an angel.
Awesome.
I know that they are real. So how do we get the rest of the non-believers, or those who are sitting on the fence? If we could get everybody who believes in angels at Christmas time to believe in angels the rest of the year, man, we'd have it made.
Part of it is just getting the message out about what they are, who they are, and how they can help us. And I believe in giving the information and then letting people make the decision. One thing that I learned by being in the organized religion, went to Bible college as well, is not to proselytize.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to proselytize. If someone doesn't want to believe in angels, it doesn't matter to me. However, what I have found with this angel that I work with, Archangel Anal, is the healing that she does is absolutely incredible. Not just the mind, but the body. I've worked with people and removing energies from them that have stepped in their way. They can't move forward in their life. They're in physical pain. Mm-hmm. For example, one client is, and I spent like 10 minutes with her, took something off of her with the help of the angel, replaced her, put the energy, the symbol of the angel on her energetically, and sealed her in. She called me a few days later. She said she'd slept all night. She hadn't slept in weeks. She had no pain. She went to the doctor. The doctor said, I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. I was going to operate on you for a mass in your stomach, but it's not there. I didn't know she had something wrong with her stomach. The angel took it out. It was an energetic force there, and it had manifested in a physical way. When angels come in with that kind of power, it does make people listen. And so then they start going, oh, well, maybe I should start learning how to listen to my angel.
But why would the angels intervene in this case if the lady wasn't asking for the angels to intervene?
Why would they intervene if she didn't ask?
Yeah.
She did ask. She asked me for help.
Oh, so by her asking you for help, you were then acting as her proxy when you asked the angels for her help. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I am the angel communicator. I have trademarked that. Mm-hmm. But the thing is with that, not just do I connect with Archangel, now I do connect with other people's angels too. So my job is with her, teach her not only how to talk to Anel, who will help her whenever she needs, but how to connect with her particular angel. And this gets her attention, so she's willing to do the work, which it involves usually a little bit of meditation and a few spiritual exercises to start opening that third eye, so she knows when it's the angels talking and it's not just mind chatter.
When angels aren't taking on human form, what do they look like? Do they look like the paintings of the masters with the beautiful wings and the kindness and loveliness in their face and in their eyes, or are they pure energy?
I see them as pure energy.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times the orbs that people will take pictures of when they're different colors,
right,
those are angelic orbs. That's an angelic energy that they're capturing with the camera.
So how would someone ask for help from an angel? Let's say somebody's listening tonight and they need help. And just by luck, they've turned on their car radio or their home radio, or they're sitting at their office working. They're listening to us and they're saying, I need help. Maybe if I ask the angels for help, I'll get help. So how would somebody ask for help?
You know what I tell people is you go straight to the top and ask Anel. And the reason about Anel, she is an angel that has the power to bring in any of the angels that you need. So a lot of times you don't know what it is you need. So just, it's simple. We'd like to complicate things with ritual. For example, I had a friend that she told me she was having she told me after the fact, she goes, I couldn't sleep. I hadn't slept for 2 weeks and I couldn't remember the name of your angel. So I said, that angel Morgana works with, I need to sleep. And she slept all night.
Huh.
It's really that simple. And I do have a couple free things on my website that helps people with that, on clearing their energy. That's a whole nother thing. The angels do show you how to protect your energy. There's new modalities out here that they're bringing in to the spiritual community. Don't grow your roots to Mother Earth. Don't put yourself in a bubble. Use this pyramid of protection that the angel Anel has given me to share with the world. And it's very powerful, and it helps, for example, people that are feeling like, I just need some help. Ask Anel. Say, Anel, I need help. Do a deep breath. Feel it. coming in through the top of your head as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, let it go down through every part of your mind, body, and soul, all down into your arms and legs. Breathe it to the bottom of your feet, and just let it filter out into Mother Earth.
So when do they ask Anel for the help? Before the breathing and the deep breath, or after?
They really don't have to use that breath if they're in a desperate situation, or they can use that breath anytime to do that.
You know, we hear about, let me see, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael, but I very seldom, if ever, heard of Archangel Anel.
That's because she's a girl.
Okay.
The goddess religion has been squished.
And you know what?
And it's time to bring a balance back.
You know, I think, and this is my opinion, I think that women do a better job than men do when it comes to nurturing, helping, running things. The greatest leaders throughout history have been women. Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth, Margaret Thatcher, and the list, Nefertiti, Cleopatra, Joan of Arc, and the list goes on and on and on. So I agree with you that women have been suppressed, and that they've been suppressed by the church.
Yes, absolutely. One of the best books on that is a book called When God Was a Woman. It's by Merlin Stone. I highly recommend it because it explains how not just the Bible, but other texts and stuff were translated to bring across a political view of that time, and how they were trying to decimate the whole feminine divine energy. And angels aren't male and they're female. I have one of my clients sees Anel as a male, but she needs to see that male energy. So angels will show up in different forms. They even show up as totems in the Native American culture. So they may show up as a panther, or, another form that I see Anel in sometimes is a dragon form, because she's fierce. There's no fluffy bunny around Anel. Soft, nurturing, yes.
Yeah,
but you hurt her babies.
Yeah.
And I tell you, she stands up for women and children. And I have seen miracles happen in the justice system when it has been going against a certain case that was going to hurt a woman or a child.
Right.
I've seen it flip when they bring Anel in.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'm a former police officer, and it used to just irk me the wrong way when certain cases would go to court when it was a matter of domestic abuse. And, and, it always seemed as if the deck was stacked against the mother and the child.
Yeah.
And, I'm glad Anel is there doing what she's doing.
It is wonderful. And I went through a lot of my own personal issues in that way. And that's part of your answer. Why do these bad things happen? I mean, someday I'll tell my whole story, but it's like those things happen so that I can understand it. And now I went from being very mousy and scared of my own shadow and abused to being empowered because of the energy of this angel.
How do I know that? How do I know that you're not really an angel?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
How do I know that you're not one of these angels who's taken on a physical body in order to not only feel the experience, but to better understand the needs of humans?
If I am, they haven't really told me that. What I have been told is that I am to be her mouthpiece, to bring this in. And one thing, and we're talking about the feminine energy, that Rob, you're very, very balanced, and I honor that in you, is one gentleman, I brought her energy, and I have a way that I'll do that in 4 breaths to bring that into a client. And when he was done, he had tears running down his face. And he said, I've never felt such love. He goes, all my anger's gone. And he's turned out to be a very dear friend, a powerful healer, and he's even come up with his own angel healing modality through Anel, who's reattuned. He uses tuning forks and oils along with it, and she's reattuned his tuning forks. He goes, I've never had tuning forks work like this before.
Wow, fascinating.
So
Truly
it's not something just for women. Like my COO on my company is a male, actually a pirate captain.
Arr!
Yeah, huzzah! That's part of my angel play I like to do is Ren Fairs and Pirates. Mm-hmm. But you will never meet a more balanced, gentle soul.
Yeah.
And masculine at the same time.
We've got 3 dogs. They're little Shih Tzus. And you know what? I don't care what anybody thinks. They'll say, look, I'm 6'5". I come in at 250 pounds. I'm not a little guy. And, when we first moved into our new neighborhood, people would look at me and say, my God, look at the little dogs the big guy's got. Well, you know what? Who cares? I love these little girls.
What, Shih Tzus, the dogs, their history? They're the dogs of royalty.
And weren't they also, didn't they have something to do with the Chinese monks?
Yes,
and
that
because
as well.
of their dedication and their loyalty, they were the protectors, and how they got that little different colored fur spot on their head was a blessing from a monk.
Well, that totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about them, but that totally feels right. The angels are saying, "Yep, sounds good."
I don't care who you are. I believe that people are people, whether you're black, white, yellow, pink, blue, green, whatever. That it's what's on the inside of the person that makes that person.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. And I forget about color, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with having been raised in Africa. But one of my dearest friends that has been on my Sisters for the Soul show on BTVN in the past is African American. Yeah. And we call each other twins. Mm-hmm. She's my twin, and we're the Oreo twins. And I do forget that she's black. Yeah.
Color.
It doesn't matter. I don't care about that.
Doesn't. It's what's inside a person. Everybody, in my opinion, is created equally. Everybody's given that chance. And who are we to say what happened during that person's life that put them off on an off-road? But in my opinion, everyone can be helped if they want the help. And
well, that's the thing. They have to ask for the help. And that's why I say if somebody asks me for help, and this is another amazing thing about the angel that I work with is I'll have friends text me in the middle of the night. My phone's always off. They know that. Mm-hmm. And in the morning I'll wake up and I'll see the text and I'll go, okay, that's why I had that weird dream that night. And then I check with them and I find out that their problem was already solved and it had everything to do with the dream that I had.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So this angel just is. I'm always in awe of the way that she works and her protective energies when I go do house clearings and speak with demonic energies and stuff like that. That can be a hoot.
All right, let's talk about demonic energies when we come back from this commercial break. Morgana, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I love your energy, and I'm so happy you're with us.
Oh, thank you. You too.
X-Zone Nation, Morgana Starr is my special guest this hour. www.morganastarr.com. That's morganastarr.com. And we'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. This is the X-Zone, Monday through Friday from 8 p.m. until midnight Eastern, right here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, on the Starcom Radio Network, and starting Monday, the Digital Broadcast Network and the Digital Satellite Network. I'll be back on the other side as we continue talking to our special guest star this hour. I really think she's an angel. We'll have to talk more about this. Morgana Starr is my guest, and we'll be back talking about angels and much more here in the X-Zone. Don't go away. Ever wondered if your advertising dollar is really working for you? If your ad would have been here, you and more than 4 million people would be listening to it right now. Contact ads at xzoneradiotv.com.
The scientist and the mystic have been on an age-old, relentless search with one thing in common. They seek truth. Their paths converge in the 40,000-year-old practice of shamanism, an ancient science delving to the quantum level of life, facilitating healing, manifestation, and evolution. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka, the founder and director of Path Home Shamanic Arts School, a unique Colorado State certified occupational school training shamanic practitioners and teachers. We also provide classes for empowering personal lives through shamanism. Our certification classes are in week-long segments enabling international participation, and online classes and long-distance shamanic healing sessions are available. Come discover the science of magic in the limitless world of shamanism. www.findyourpathhome.com.
I'm William S. Peckham. If you enjoy a good mystery with a touch of the paranormal, then you'll love my novel, From Out of the Woodwork. It's the story of a young Toronto contractor, Sean Kennedy, who buys derelict homes, guts them, and turns them into multifamily dwellings. Slums just waiting to happen. When Sean buys 29 Livery Lane, the house fights back. Former owners unexpectedly come out of the woodwork as he starts the destruction. The apparitions come to him when he touches old books, reads hidden letters, rummages through old boxes, finds a locket, or reads a discovered manuscript of a murder mystery. From Out of the Woodwork will take you from 1899 to the horror of the World Trade Center, September 11, 2001. Check out From Out of the Woodwork on my website, www.williamspeckham.com.
Jeff Gilson didn't go out looking for adventure, danger, or the answers to most of the controversial political intrigues of the past 30 years. But he found all three when he began investigating the mysterious death of his close friend, Margaret Thatcher's favorite speechwriter. Just an ordinary guy living in a small, sleepy suburb 20 miles outside of London, Jeff's questions provoked a powerful response on both sides of the Atlantic. He was shot at, warned off by the CIA, and formed a close bond with one of Israel's most notorious intelligence officers. Relive Jeff's gripping adventure in his fast-paced book, Maggie's Hammer. Peel away the layers of establishment deception and discover, as Jeff did, that his friend was an assassin with British intelligence, that Great Britain has been America's secret hitman for the past 30 years, and that Princess Diana was not the target in that Parisian tunnel. All of this and more when you visit www.maggieshammer.com and find the link to buying this explosive book online. More and more ordinary people feel they no longer have control of their lives. Jeff fought back. He asked the difficult questions. He set out to redesign his own destiny, and you can do the same using Maggie's Hammer as your guide. Don't waste a moment. Buy it today. Visit www.maggieshammer.com.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right. Transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
My name is Michael Telstar, Canada's leading mentalist from Toronto, Ontario.
Hi, my name is Belinda, and you're listening to my dad, Ron McConnell, on the X-Zone.
This is Psychic Dorothy from St. Catharines, and you're listening to Rob McConnell.
Hello, my name is Holly Reeves, an astrologer from Astro For You, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X-Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Welcome to The X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Morgana Starr is our special guest this hour. Exonation, www.morganastarr.com, and Starr is with 2 R's. Morgana, thanks very much for joining us. But before we went to the commercial break with the news at the bottom of the hour, you gave us a bit of a teaser about demonic spirits. Are they real?
Oh, yeah, they're real. But they're not scary. Well, they're not scary to me. Let me put it that way. When one understands a little bit about souls and how souls evolve, it takes some of the fear out of it. I mean, they're like bullies. So they feed off of fear. So any houses that tend to be haunted, or even I'll get them attached to some people at times, it creates a person energy in them where they're just not themselves, is what they'll say, you know,
Yeah.
and they're scared about things, or they're nervous and they didn't used to be. And then we go and we clear this energy and find out what it is and send him on his little merry way and tell him not to come around this person anymore.
But where do these demonic spirits come from, Morgana?
My belief is they are other types of souls.
Okay.
They can also be what we could consider as a lower vibration angelic energy that's twisted and has been treated badly. So they don't understand what's going on, and all they understand is pain, so that's what they give.
Ooh.
And so in time, they can evolve through the centuries of time into a good person, like be rehabilitated, so to speak. So this is why I think it's very important that you don't go in and just be disrespectful and mean to them, because they're still energies, they're still beings.
How dangerous is it when certain members of society who like to go into haunted houses, who like to go and what I see is provoke spirits? You know, are they playing with fire?
It can kill them. It's that dangerous. That when you go into a house that has that's considered haunted, and like lots of hauntings, more than likely there is a higher level energy of, for lack of a better word, I just hate the word demonic, but that spirit, and I call them sentinels. These sentinels are like guardians that feed off of more, that, you know, they feed off of the energy even more so. So they like to keep souls trapped. So you may go into a house where there's just lost souls, little spirits that we had a case on an island, for example, because I volunteered with the Florida Paranormal Research Foundation, and so there was a little girl caught on the island, a spirit, and we were able to rescue her and snuck her out of the island, but she was terrified. She goes, he's coming, he's going to get me. And I got a flash of the Sentinel, but I have learned how, and I train. It's very careful that you go in under the radar. You don't want them to see you. You don't want them to perceive you as a threat. That's when people get very sick. That's where some paranormal investigators have gotten cancer and other issues, and even died because of that. Because of the situation that we were in, there was a spirit there that we weren't able to save, and he was caught between the worlds. But that place between the worlds, I consider hell.
Right.
And when you're able to see it, it's not pretty. But I literally saw this man. He'd been black when he had his body. He was African American, and he was being skinned alive. And we weren't able to save him, but we did save the little girl.
Right.
What would have happened if we had saved him because of the situation without going into detail? That Sentinel would have jumped over to where the little girl was and not only destroyed her as well as a lot of other spirits. A lot of people would have gotten hurt.
But how does a spirit hurt another spirit?
Their energy. And they're trapped. When a spirit's in heaven, it's a whole different story. When your loved one has gone to heaven,
Right.
They can come back, they can be around, they can beat around the house, and sometimes haunted houses you go to, Grandpa's just moving stuff around, and he's fine.
Right. So,
But then there's some that it's the energy of the sadness. When you get that sadness and that depression, that's when they're stuck between worlds.
Gotcha. Is heaven the light that some people try and get spirits to move to?
I would say yes, and that's where there is a problem, because religious dogma has taught people that have been bad that they will go to hell and hell's fire. So when the light appears, many spirits, and I've talked to them and I've had to counsel them, no, that's not hell.
Gosh.
Well, I've been bad. No, you haven't been bad. God loves you. He loves me. And you have to counsel them to get them to know they're loved, and sometimes bring their loved ones through to say, hey, we're having fun over here. Here's the party. Come on. We love you.
Is that why sometimes when someone is getting ready to make that departure from this realm to the next, members of families
Yes.
and friends come? And I've even heard stories from nurses and doctors where they have seen or believed to have seen the presence of an animal at the time of passing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, their pets will come through. Relatives will come through.
Wow.
And it's kind of cool. I've seen a couple of experiences of people that have just sat down and went to sleep and died. But what happened was when I tuned in, I saw their loved one come and take their hand and just pop them right out of their body.
Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, it's awesome.
Then why do we have this fear of death when, from what I've learned over the many years doing this show and speaking to people like yourself, there's nothing to fear?
It's an unknown. That's something that we, as a human race, there is that innate fear of the unknown. Again, fear has been implanted by the other side that feeds off of that energy.
So is reincarnation real?
To me, it's real.
Okay.
And the only reason I feel like it's real is because I have had too many memories of people that I've met, and I've had the flashbacks. They've had the same flashbacks. We've been able to trace it back. And I have known of people that have been able to, their memories, they can go back through historical records and go, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. How would have I known that otherwise?
So how can a listener know the difference between, the energy of an angel and spirit, and say of a deceased friend or loved one?
The deceased loved one, if they're in spirit, I mean, if they've gone I usually refer to spirits as the ones that have gone to heaven, and ghosts are the ones that are trapped.
Okay.
But the ghosts are sad. The spirits are happy. But both of them will bring around to them sometimes different thoughts or scents or like smells.
Right.
That they used to, same kind of cologne, or there's someone that dad always smoked, and there's no one smoking in the house, but I'm smelling cigarette smoke. So, well, who is that? Those type of things that will happen. You'll hear chimes when there's no chimes, and you relate that. Some people, I have a dear friend whose wife has passed, and she was connected with cardinals. So every time cardinals show up, he knows she's around. Her spirit's there.
A lot of ghost hunters or research, I think the name ghost hunter is totally stupid, because when you hunt something, you intend to kill it. And
I agree.
Okay, so anyway, I just had to say that. When let's call them ghost enthusiasts, take people on tours of graveyards. Is this being not sacrificial, but is this being disrespectful to the spirits?
I feel it can be it depends on how it's done. The only time I go and do things is if I can rescue spirits.
Right.
Rescue those ghosts, help them go to the spirit world where they need to go. If I can't do that, there's no reason. I did know of a case where there was a haunted hotel many years ago in another state, and they would say, "Oh, and under this stairway, there's our little ghost, and we call her Little Miss Sunshine. She's from the slave time and the Freedom Train, and she's just lost, and she's looking for her parents." I was furious when I heard that. This is a little girl. It's a soul. Yeah. She just doesn't have her body, and she wants her mom and dad. Fortunately, I was affiliated with a team that was able to go in kind of undercover, and we rescued her.
Excellent.
And got her out. In fact, we rescued so many they had to shut the hotel down because they didn't have any more spirit activity.
I think that this is when a number of different organizations actually abuse what they're trying to accomplish. Like to many people, it's a money-making gimmick.
It is,
Yeah.
and this is why I've had a little trouble. One of my friends said, "Well, sometimes you're not good TV material because you don't get freaked out." I've had some weird experiences all the way down to actually channeling a demon myself, which that was a wild ride. But having a demon come up in my face when I'm working on somebody in a real deep voice telling me, "I am Beelzebub." Well, I wasn't freaked out. Yeah, I saw the hair and the teeth, the red eyes and all that. And I said, "No, you're not." Instant I said that bully, he just deflated, hung his head. He goes, "No, I'm not." And I said, "You need to leave. You're not allowed here anymore. This belongs to the angel now. This isn't else." And he goes, "I didn't know that. I'm sorry." "Okay, go away now." And the other angels will take him where he needs to go so he can be rehabilitated.
So there's hope for everyone.
There
good
is.
Or bad.
There is. And they need to be treated with respect. If you go in, and I always tell people, do not sage. Please don't sage. When you go in and you sage because there's spirit activity or ghost activity, paranormal, that's like blowing smoke in grandma's face.
Ooh.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
And they'll leave. Yeah, they'll leave for 2 weeks, but they usually come back, and then people call me, "I saged, and 2 weeks later, it's worse." Well, honey, let's do this. And a lot of things I work with is I work with the Nell symbol. Every angel has a symbol. Her symbol I have trademarked on my website in the pretty form, but you can draw it with that 8-pointed star, just real simple stick figure across in an X, a circle, and make a little swing down to the sides. That says, "This belongs to the angel. Stay away from this person. Stay away from this place." And, the demons see her and they go, "Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm bad. I'll leave."
So is her symbol like a talisman?
Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
It is. I had one gal that called me, and her dog was being bothered by elemental spirits, which is a different energy, and they weren't nice ones. There's some nice, some not so nice. This wasn't. The poor dog was all freaked out, and I told her, draw that symbol on a tiny piece of paper, tape it to his collar. She said within a minute after she had it taped to the collar, the dog was calm as could be, and it was fine.
So if someone was having problems in their home, let's say they felt a negative energy, a negative presence, and they went to your website and they printed out Annelle's talisman for a symbol, and they put it up in their
seal.
Her seal. I like that. Her seal, and they put it up in their home. Would that protect their home?
It can be all that you need, depending on how severe it is. I've had people do that before.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And some people carry it on their person. I know a young kid that was in an accident, thrown 40 feet in the air on a little motorcycle, and road rash all down his back. Nothing else wrong with him, but he had no road rash right in the middle of his back. It looked like there were hands, angel wings on his back. And he pulled my business card out that always has that symbol on it because he carried that symbol with him everywhere he went. That angel grabbed him.
Wow. This is what I love about having people like you on this show, is that I am sure there are people listening tonight who are going to be smiling because they thought that there was just negativity in this world. And here we are talking about positive in this world. And it's just great. It's just truly great. But you've also talked and encountered with fairies and aliens. Tell me about the fairies. Are they just little angels?
Yes. You got it. And you have them all around you. Those are those sparkles I see all around you. They're a little bit, they can be impish.
Right.
And so if you're losing your keys, you can't find I'm sure you don't wear the earrings, but I can't find your earrings, rings, jewelry, little things. It's usually that they're just playing little tricks on you.
That happens to my wife.
And
the keys have happened to me.
Yeah. Your wife is a very, very sweet spirit, and they love her dearly. Oh my gosh, they're really connected with her.
We used to do the radio show at what is undoubtedly Canada's most haunted radio station, and that's 610 CKTB in St. Catharines, Ontario. I was there for a number of years. I was the executive producer for the station. And I always felt a presence. It's in an old house that goes back to the War of 1812 at the end of the Underground Railroad. And it was a hospital, it was this, it was that, it was a brewery at one time, it was a hostel, and over the years it turned into a radio station, and then a second radio FM station was put in, and then so there were 3 radio stations in one place. And I always used to have guests come in and they say, oh, this is creepy, this is creepy, this is this, that, and the other thing. But what I would do when I would come in would say, hi, gang, I'm here. And I was the only person in the place, and it was like, okay, he let me know he's here, and he's acknowledging that there's something here. He may not believe it 100%, but he's giving us the respect.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So how about the aliens, now that we talked about the fairies?
They just come in different forms. I've just seen them from time to time. We've had little chats. My partner on Angels Unveiled, my Google TV show, she chats with them a little bit more. That's more down her alley. But again, the angels are what some people may consider as an alien form because they're not from this planet. And neither are some of us. Some of us are what I call starseed. Well, from an alien origin, our souls have evolved from that.
And then you've got the ones that are definitely not from this planet that usually end up in every political center on this planet.
Absolutely.
Boom, boom. Listen,
that's how they control things.
It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Our hour has gone by so fast. I'd love to have you back on in the future. This has been a delight.
Thank you. I would like to mention that I do have an angelic arts certification program, and we are spotlighting that at our new Angel Call Center and Training Center. We're building one here in the Florida area, and we're going to be training top-notch psychics and mediums, and it's going to be amazing. And we'd love for anyone that wants to know more about that, just contact me and I'll give them some more information, because it's going to involve a whole group of people. And I know a lot of people that are listening.
Morgana, thank you so much. And Exonation, if you'd like more information about Morgana Starr, visit her website at www.morganastarr.com. Morgana, please thank Anel for us as well.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening. Exonation.
All right.
I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. When we come back, blast from the past. From last month, one great guest, Chrissy Blaze, and then one total wingnut, Al McGuthrie. I'll be back on the other side of this break as we continue from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away, Exonation.